Hello, traders. I'm going to take a look at Novavax today, which is a leading vaccine maker. And what we have over here is a potential rounded bottom, cup and handle bottom, um, with a little bit of inverse head and shoulders in there. So, in general, a huge base is forming, is what I'm trying to say. And depending on how you want to look at it, like I said, there is you can call it a cup and handle. Usually, cup and handles are continuation patterns, but they could also be bottoming patterns. So we can see this really big base here. That's the cup. This is the handle. And hopefully, this correction here is it. And we have, uh, so this little correction shouldn't be any deeper. The cup and handle is formed, and we should expect a breakout from here. Another way to look at it, like I said, is there's an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Maybe this is an additional right shoulder, right? But the point is, a big bottom is forming after an initial monster surge that we saw in 2024, right? So that's the surge that I'm talking about over here. We've got a solid time-wise correction, price-wise correction. In terms of price, this is, yeah, it went down 75%. Currently, it is down 60%. So it's had a solid time-wise correction. So that would be a year and a half. And I think this was an impulse wave one. This is wave two. So what we have coming is now wave three, which, if you know, wave three is the meat of the bull market. The biggest chunk is the wave three. And of course, I think you know what I'm getting at. If a leading vaccine maker has a big impulse wave coming up, so I think you know what that means. We should expect some sort of pandemic catalyst very soon. Charts always predict the news. So that's that over here as well. An immediate target would be up here around the 14-15 level, which is also a supply zone. And that would be, yeah, about a 70-80% markup, which should happen rather quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened even within a week. If the so-called catalyst does show up, we could have stocks like these can get re-rated very quickly. And another way to look at it is over here. So at the very minimum, right? At the very minimum, let's say I'm wrong about a wave three and this is just an ABC flat. Well, even in that scenario, right? This was a wave A, this is a wave B, and now wave C comes up. At the very minimum, we should expect the 23-24 level to be hit. At the very minimum, right? Don't be surprised if it goes up to $30 and you could still say it's an ABC flat, let alone the fact that there's a monster wave 3 coming, right? And then a wave 5, right? I'm not even going there. But even if you say this is just a bear market rally, we can see a sizable markup, right? That's 180%. So let's just say 200%, which is a triple. All right, so from $8 to $24 is, I think, possible. But again, there's that one scenario that is needed in order for it to happen. If that happens, the stock gets re-rated, or else I'm wrong and it just drifts into something else, right? This needs to play out ASAP, or I guess the setup gets nullified. Also, we can look at so these type of stocks are momentum driven. Well, all stocks are momentum driven in general, but these kind of catalyst driven stocks are momentum driven. So once we do get signs that momentum has shifted, that would be a buy signal, right? So now we can see that we've got the MACD, right? We've got the MACD, that's the clear buy signal that we've got here. So again, if the buy signal has been triggered, that means that there's a markup phase coming, right? We should see something like this over the coming weeks, right? So the buy signal has been triggered. If it has to play out, it's going to play out in the next few weeks or not, and the signal is nullified. But there's clear asymmetric risk to reward here. If you're long, there's a clear asymmetric reward potential. And again, charts always predict the news, so we can see that over here. Also, one thing I want to emphasize lastly is this cross that we got on the MACD, right? So these last couple weeks where we had a nice little markup, that came on decent volume, right? There was some volume backing it up. It wasn't just it wasn't random. There was definitely some volume in the buying, and the selling was lower volume. That is exactly the type of setup you want to see. Again, I mean, it's not some insane amount of volume, but definitely it supports the idea that hey, some buying was taking place. Maybe a re-rating has begun. All right, so I see the same thing in another vaccine stock, which I will make a separate video about. That's BioNTech. But this is just, I'm looking at Novavax in this video. All right, thank you. And please leave your feedback down below.